could drop my baggage and just be light. What if I was...
Hello, everyone. I am Kay Lamore. I am the author of Your Path to Songwriting Success, 7 Steps to Becoming a Confident Songwriter. I am also a songwriting coach and a singer-songwriter. And today I am interviewing Marlon Waterman. He is the author of a brand new book called Be the Light, Identifying Hope in Times of Despair. And it's a 31-day, there it is on that cup. Nice. It's a 31-day inspirational devotional, and it's currently available on Amazon.com. So we're going to talk about, how being the light can have a positive effect on your songwriting path. Welcome, Marlon. Thanks for being here with me.
Thank you for having me, Kay.
Yes. And congratulations on writing a book. That is amazing.
Thank you. Well, for one, writing this book came out of nowhere.
Really?
It started because of the pandemic.
Okay. Tell me about how that started.
With the pandemic, we all lost our jobs where we worked at Broadway and the Jacob Javits Center in New York. Okay. So with Broadway being shut down, no large gatherings, a lot of my coworkers started calling me as I was a shop steward and like a foreman, sort of like I got a lot of jobs and dispatched a lot of people to certain places. But again, not having the norm, people started panicking. Mm-hmm. And with that, I started writing inspirational things just because on Facebook, what was being told to me behind, confidentially with people. Mm-hmm. And April 10th was the first thing I wrote was Be the Light.
Okay.
And it was on Facebook. And what happened was I got maybe 5 or 10 likes. Wow. But I end up cooking or playing music because I'm also a DJ. Yeah. And I would get over 100 likes or 100. Nice. But what was really good to know, Kay, was the fact that so many people called me about the positive thing that I wrote.
Really?
Yeah. So that's when I knew
that you had something there that people wanted and needed.
Yes.
That's really cool. So what is the book actually about? Like, tell me exactly like what I can expect when I get that book.
Well, it's a 31-day inspirational devotional. So the book is about this. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was writing in this book, and then it got transpired to this book. So from this book, it went to Facebook. And then from then I got it to my sister that she kind of tweaked it and made it sound much more professional than harsh. Mm-hmm. The book is about looking within you and finding the light. Mm-hmm. Don't look towards others. And it's also, I'm a very spiritual person, but I didn't get too spiritual in this book due to the fact that I have so many different denominations of religion with work with my coworkers. So off and on, we try not to speak about religion, but we know that we all have a God, or we believe in a higher being. Mm-hmm. Some are atheists, but that's their choice. So we respect everyone's choice. So
right.
Be the light. It's in here.
Be the light. So tell me more about that though. Like, what does that mean to be the light?
Okay, I'm going to write. Well, not write. Let me read. Sorry. Mm-hmm. The actual Be the Light question. I'm not going to read the whole thing for you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to read the question, and then maybe you can answer it, and I'm going to help you answer your own question. Tell me, what will it take for you to be the light? Okay.
What will it take for me to be the light?
Yes.
I do believe that I am the light. I am a light. And what it took for me to come to that conclusion is to understand who I am as far as my worthiness and the love that God has for me, and being able to become more confident and courageous into following my heart and my dreams and being my authentic self And in that way, I'm shining the light that's inside of me and allowing others to recognize the light in themselves as well, that they can be authentic and be the light, be that beacon for other people as well.
Perfect. And that's the actual, I'm not saying you're spot on. You are 120% right. That's what being the light is about. And because of that, I'm going to share with you what the poem is on Be the Light. I wish I could pull it up on Facebook so you can see the original before I read this one. But in times when the world feels like we are surrounded by a seemingly overwhelming darkness, the only way you know it is dark is if you have no light within or around you. Many people don't know this, but the actions we take, each passing moment, and the imaginations of our heart reflects whether we are aligned with darkness or light. Hatred is darkness, as is envy, selfishness, anger, malice, and unforgivingness. But no matter the darkness that you see around you every day, you must not let it get into your life. Love is light, as is peace, forgiveness, generosity, and compassion. Tell me, is there anything as beautiful and attractive as the light? So that's just a smid bit.
That's
so you could know, that what you said was very similar to what that is.
So how do you think you're being the light? Like, how would you express yourself as being the light?
I'm going to take one or maybe two conversations. One conversation, someone called me looking for work. So they was looking for work, and I told him, well, he was frustrated, stay home wife, two children. And I said, well, now is the time where, we work constantly and it's our busy season, but just turn the hands back and enjoy your kids now. He didn't look at it like that. He just kept figuring that he has to provide. He has to provide. But when he switched his mindset, he felt much more happier. That he called me back about a month or two later and said, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, this is way before the book was even written, thought of, anything.
Wow.
But the mere fact is he found out that his mindset was in a dark place. But when he realized that the light was always right there, but he just forgot to flip the switch.
Right. It's always all about mindset. Wow, that's wild. But so for songwriters, there are a lot of like people who want to write songs and they may be like afraid for whatever reason. I mean, there's a million reasons why people don't want to take that step. Number one, they might think they're not worthy. Number two, they might think that time has passed. I've heard so many people say, oh, I'm older now, that time has passed already, whatever. Some people, they just don't think they have the skills or the talent, but they have this thing in their heart that's pulling them and telling them that if this is what you want, you should do it. But something is holding them back. It's as if they don't recognize their own light. And I think when they do recognize their own light, not only will they be able to step into who they're supposed to be and their purpose in life, but they will also be a great example for others as well. Would you agree with that?
Well, I definitely agree, but on a different note, we all have something called timing. It's about timing because you can give a person an idea, but if they don't see that idea, they won't grasp it. So when I realized that I didn't see this idea of writing a book, someone saw what I was writing on Facebook and said, the game is to be sold, not told. So some people have beautiful songwriting skills in them. They can make up something like this, but once the spotlight is on them, that timing throws them off. It's called like our stage fright.
Yep.
In their own house or within their own body, I would say.
Exactly.
So we'll start off in your house. You can perform in your house, you can dance, you can have a blast in your house, but when you go to a party, you're standing on a wall.
Yeah.
Now, this comes naturally with writing.
Mm-hmm.
You can write for maybe your spouse or maybe your friends, but if you know other people, strangers, is going to look at it, then you feel so you have to start with just facing that fear first before you even go further down. Take baby steps.
Baby steps is so important. And also caring about what people think. That's something that you have to try to get rid of. It takes time. I mean, there's plenty of times where I still care about what people think. I mean, I think we all do to some extent, but you have to let that go in order to, put yourself out there and actually be the light that you're supposed to be. So I think it's something that people have to learn. If you're not born with that, I don't care what anybody thinks. It's definitely something you have to learn how to do if you're going to step into who you are supposed to be.
Exactly. Now, I'm going to throw you a curveball. If you know that you have dreams in you,
Mm-hmm.
why is it that you're listening to someone else? That was me from a child. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot my what I eat does not make you poop, if you know what I
Got
mean. And I
you.
used to love that saying. And another thing is, don't surround yourself with dream killers.
Oh, yeah.
Surround yourself with positive people. I love constructive criticism,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because I'm built for it. Not everybody has a certain mechanism in them that they can maintain.
And sometimes you're actually looking for the constructive criticism, so it'll help you. But there are people who are just negative, and they'll attack you on purpose because they're in a negative space. And you have to build a type of like a thick skin to,
Resilience.
yes, a resilience in order to overcome that so that you can be the person that you're supposed to be.
Now, I'm going to share another thing because I know we're going to talk about songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you. I wrote something in here about resilience because this book, I'm going to give myself a plug, is good for those who are afraid to do anything that comes across their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So for resilience, I'm going to read you off the original resilience I wrote when I was, in my sleep. I think I wrote resilience in this. Did I? Preparation, tranquility, light. No, I don't think I wrote resilience. And okay, resilience. So this is the original. I'm not reading you the one out the book. The
Okay.
one that I
The
woke up.
original from your notebook.
Yes.
Okay.
So I woke up 4 o'clock in the morning and I wrote, resilience can be when you lose all worldly possessions, you still have the faith and hope you will regain your lost. Resilience, oof,
Can't read your
it,
handwriting?
no, it's chicken scratch. It's about recovery on any lost. It's difficult to find out the reason it happened to you. Don't be quick to point the finger or stay in the state of mind. The decision to make is get out of that dark, stormy place and fight on with resilience. Some blame the devil, but blame the decision. You choose to remain in it. Be capable to withstand shock without being changed for the worse. So that was just what I wrote when I woke up.
Yeah,
And resilience.
I like
So
that. And I think you touched on um not being a victim to stuff, a victim to circumstances. And that's so important, like to understand that you have that power to change a situation, change your minds about a situation, and get out of it or stay in it, whatever you want to do. And I heard that in what you were saying.
now in the book, I have a question to ask you again, because even though it's my interview,
I know. I'm like, what's going on here?
this
Good.
is for like the songwriters in the book. This is the question because after every I would say 31 Day Inspirational, I ask a question within so you can find out how to, see the light in you. How can you challenge yourself to push through or overcome a previously shipwrecked situation?
Say that again. Did you look at the page?
Okay. All right. Resilience.
Sorry.
No problem. All right, Kate. How can you challenge yourself to push through or overcome a previously shipwrecked situation?
Challenge yourself to overcome a
Previously.
previously shipwrecked situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, personally speaking, if I can't figure out the answer or the direction I need to go or the next step, I turn to God. Me and God are mad tight. I'm his favorite, just so you know, even though everybody's his favorite, but you know what I mean. So me and God are tight. And so, I would present the situation to God and I would surrender, knowing that God is in control.
Amen.
And I noticed that things do change, whether I got an idea, whether somebody said something that impacted me, whether the situation itself changes, whatever the case is, I ask, and then I know that God is gonna take care of it for me, and I surrender, and that's the way things
That's
change.
it. That's a good way of thinking. And as far as songwriting,
how about you?
Oh, for me with resilience, well, when I feel as though I've been, just say, not betrayed, but been in a situation where I came to a roadblock of some past person mistakes, or just I take that burden off of them and put it on myself. Because that was my choice to put that into that specific person's hand to help me get to somewhere that I could have gotten on my own.
Okay.
So now, number one, the blame game, that's how I started the first one. If I read the book, it's more or less, I don't have time to go back and forth. Just dust yourself off and keep going. We take too long sometimes and wonder why that happened to us or why I'm feeling this way up. That's taking time away from you. Time waits on no one.
Right.
So, of course, I trust in the Most High, my Lord Jesus Christ, my Savior. When you're dealing with certain people, it tends to, they don't see that. So I won't put that on them, but I'll just say, you know what? I'll treat it like Shark Tank. For these reasons, I'm out.
I like that. I like that. And all of this can definitely tie into people's path on, for their songwriting, because it's life. Songwriting is interweaved into your life, and you're going to have to go through things. You're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to learn how to go with your gut. You're going to have to learn how to forgive and let go. You're going to have to learn.
You got all, did you know I have let go in here also?
Nice. It's all tied into being the light, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, songwriters on their path, they're going to come across so many different things, and you have to be resilient. You have to be strong. You have to take responsibility for your actions. And I'm just going to go back to when I don't like to go back too much, because I don't like to build negative momentums and stuff like that, because I believe in law of attraction. And when you focus on something, it gets bigger, it gets bigger. So I'm not going to spend too much time here, but back when I was in corporate America, nothing wrong with people in corporate America, it just was not for me. And I knew I wanted to pursue songwriting. And it took me a good 10 years from realizing that to actually leaving the job to figure out what I was doing. And all of this stuff that you're talking about in your book, I feel like my journey was learning those types of lessons. And I think it's so interesting. A lot of people, like if someone's like in my situation when I was in corporate America, the advice I think I would give them is to have patience, because I feel like that's something I did lack. I wanted to boom, leave and do songwriting. That's not how it worked. God had me on a path where I had to experience things and grow and grow and grow to a certain point where I was able to move on to the next stage. So I think it's a journey, and I think that your book can help people so much with that journey, and it could probably shorten their time of learning all those lessons. You know, you don't have to go through 10 years of trying to figure it out when someone has already figured it out and you
Yeah.
could learn from it. So I mean, definitely experience is the best teacher, but when you're being the light as you are and putting this information in the book and showing people that they can be the light and be a certain way, it compresses the time and lets them enjoy the journey more and be their true self. Yeah.
And overcome that little dark spot or the tunnel that they're in at the time, because it, like you said, you don't like going backwards to think, but the mind is automatically going to keep replaying the history. So you have to know what you would rather replay more. So
Right.
if you take less time in the dark spots and more time in the happy spots, your mind is going to keep playing back the happy things because
Yep.
it can't really see the dark things.
Exactly. I love that. So where can people get your book again? You said Amazon?
Well, Amazon is for right now, and it's also in Spanish for all the
Oh,
bilingual people. It's
wow.
called same thing, like, oh gosh, I'm Panamanian, but it's in Spanish.
And you
Se,
can't
se
say it?
la luz, se la luz, se la
Oh,
luz.
De La Luz. Okay.
Yeah. Same by Marlon Waterman. The next thing, it's basically on Amazon now. I'm gonna be coming out with my own website, so you could purchase directly probably within the next 2 weeks, because I'm gonna have a whole light trilogy. I have another book coming out in about 2 to 3 months, maybe 3 months tops, because I'm in progress of writing it now.
Nice.
And it's called Light After Divorce.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you also have to know, with heartbreak and with disappointments and just not being equally yoked, we all have to know that things happen just like this, but it's not how you fall, it's how you get up.
Get up. Yes.
So it's like I'm in a great space. I'm
Right.
still learning how
Of
to
course, we're
be
never gonna stop learning.
yes, learning how to be less, I can say, manipulated, because people can manipulate you by words. People can manipulate you by action, but sometimes you have to sit back and use your discernment to know that everyone's around you is not for you.
Yes, so important. So important, especially in the music industry too.
That's
Goodness.
you got so much people pulling,
My
because
goodness.
you can be in a, just say, an environment where they have the music, they have the alcohol, they have the starstruck or whatever it is, and they're just wanting you to be a certain way, knowing that you started writing for a certain way, and now they're taking your work and manipulating it. Now that's not the authenticity that you want.
Exactly.
So you have to stay true to yourself, and that's all this is about, me being
Stay true to
true
yourself.
to myself.
I love that. Is there any final tip or advice you can give to a songwriter who, or an aspiring songwriter? Maybe the person doesn't know how to write well yet, and they're just a little bit hesitant to even take a step. Maybe they're comfortable where they are and afraid to become uncomfortable and be the light that they know they can possibly be.
Well, for a songwriter who haven't ever written a song, even, they can sing or create, start off with a baby journal.
Mm-hmm.
And once you start off with your baby journal, because it comes to you, like, I'm going to not get religious on you, but I'm going to let you know it comes to you, as some people would say, a gut feeling. I call it the Holy Spirit. I call it your alter ego. I call it your person within. Some people call it your conscience, but there is something that's going to come to you and make you want to write, or make you feel, if you want to be a songwriter, feel a certain type of song to write, because you have different genres, different titles. So start off with at least 5 titles of whether love, whether, blues, R&B, hip hop. It's so many different titles, but just start to just narrow it down to what you know that you can write about. You wouldn't see me writing about country music if I was going to write.
Right.
But I might write about something dealing with a breakup, because I know all about it.
Right. Something that you've actually experienced and you can relate to what you're writing, right?
Yes. So I would tell anyone under the sun, start with what you know. Because no one can tell you nothing else, because you already know the right answer.
Exactly. Thank you so much for taking out the time to chat with me and shining your light and letting everyone else know that they can be the light.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
And everyone, if you are ready to write that song in your heart, definitely DM me or go to my website, www.kaylamour.com. That's KAYLAMOUR.com. And we can talk about how I can help you be that songwriter light. And so just DM me, email me, whatever it is. If you're ready, I'm going to help you on your journey. Thank you so much, Marlon, once again. Everybody, take care. Happy songwriting. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
What if I could just be the light so bright? No problems, no goals, no worries now.